The automated river skimmer, the verdant pulse, cut a silent path across the wide, slow-moving currents of the Grand Niger waterway. Its sleek, bioluminescent hull, a living surface that shimmered with the gentle energy of the river itself, created barely a ripple through the water. On its banks, the city of Timbuktu Nova rose in breathtaking splendor. Not a city of sun-baked mud and ancient dust, but a vibrant metropolis of towering organic skyscrapers interwoven with vast, transparent biodomes teeming with life. Each dome was a miniature ecosystem, a vibrant tapestry of indigenous Saharan flora and fauna, thriving in harmony with the human inhabitants. Elevated maglev lines like luminous veins crisscrossed the sky, connecting districts that stretched for miles, each a fusion of ancient Malian aesthetics and cutting-edge ecological technology. It was May 2025, and this was a world where the Sahara Desert, instead of becoming an immense, arid barrier, had remained a fertile, verdant land throughout human history, becoming the very heart of global civilization. The genesis of this divergent timeline, a geological benediction, stretches back not thousands, but millions of years, an almost imperceptible whisper in the vast, echoing chambers of the Earth's deep past. The climatic conditions that once periodically rendered the Sahara a lush savanna in prehistory, in this reality, became permanent. This wasn't a sudden cataclysmic shift, but a slow, steady recalibration of planetary forces, a delicate dance of atmospheric currents and oceanic flows. Perhaps a subtle, persistent shift in atmospheric circulation patterns, influenced by a slightly different configuration of ocean currents or even a minor alteration in the Earth's axial tilt, established a new meteorological norm. This minute difference, compounded over eons, rewrote the very geography of a continent. Crucially, an immense, continuous atmospheric river, a colossal stream of vapor fed by the warmth and moisture of the Atlantic and the Gulf of Guinea, consistently delivered abundant rainfall across the vast expanse that would otherwise have been desert. This was no fleeting season of rain, but a perpetual, life-giving flow. This continuous bounty transformed the region. It wasn't merely green, it was a sprawling network of mighty rivers, some rivaling the Amazon in their majesty and discharge, their waters teeming with diverse aquatic life. Vast inland seas, shimmering like immense jewels under a perpetually verdant sky, were the remnants of ancient megalakes, continuously replenished and teeming with life, their shorelines nurturing unique biomes. In between these aquatic arteries lay incredibly fertile plains, a seemingly endless expanse of rich, arable land, carpeted in nutrient-rich soil. This was a truly uninterrupted cradle for human civilization, a continuous garden that nurtured life, innovation, and interconnectedness on a scale unimaginable in other realities. This geological benediction fundamentally altered the course of human migration and development. Early Homo sapiens flourished in an unbroken continuum of life across Africa, experiencing seamless cultural and technological exchange from the very dawn of their existence. There were no formidable deserts to cross, no vast, arid barriers segmenting humanity into isolated pockets of development, forcing divergence and limiting interaction. Instead, a network of easily navigable rivers and fertile land invited exploration and connection, fostering a profound sense of unity across the continent. This constant flow of people and ideas meant that knowledge wasn't lost in isolated pockets, subject to rediscovery or reinvention. Instead, it was built upon, refined, and disseminated with remarkable speed, leading to an accelerated pace of societal evolution. Concepts of agriculture, metallurgy, governance, complex social structures, and profound philosophies spread like wildfire, constantly evolving through diverse cultural lenses and thriving on continuous intercontinental interaction. The cradle of humanity expanded, unfurling across a continent brimming with life, a truly unified and thriving ancestral homeland. Over millennia, this perpetually fertile Sahara fostered an unparalleled flourishing of African civilizations. The ancient kingdoms of Ghana, Mali, and Songhai were not fleeting empires, their fortunes tied precariously to the gold-salt trade across a desert, vulnerable to the whims of arid landscapes. Instead, they were enduring, interconnected superstates that spanned vast territories, their influence radiating outward across the continent and beyond. Their power was built not on the precarious transport of goods across arid, dangerous lands, but on massive agricultural surpluses from incredibly rich floodplains, managed with sophisticated hydro-engineering techniques that turned the ebb and flow of mighty rivers into predictable bounty. Their wealth flowed through complex riverine trade networks that dwarfed any sea-based commerce of other continents in sheer volume and efficiency, facilitated by automated hydrocraft and bustling river ports that served as vibrant hubs of commerce and culture. This sustained prosperity fueled continuous technological innovation, born from boundless resources and vibrant intellectual exchange, allowing for specialized industries and advanced research to flourish. New civilizations emerged in areas that were historically barren in other timelines. The great oasis states of the Tibesti Hydro League, for instance, saw their cities carved into the verdant mountainsides, utilizing ancient aquifer systems that were continuously replenished by the ceaseless rainfall, turning mountains into lush, terraced metropolises. These weren't mere oases, they were formidable city-states, each a marvel of sustainable living, their architecture seamlessly integrated with the living rock, powered by geothermal energy and cascading waterfalls. The verdant Nile kingdoms, extending far beyond the narrow strip of what we know as the Nile, became a sprawling, interconnected civilization stretching deep into the continent. Sustained by an expansive river system of incredible majesty and fertility, their cities were vast, sprawling metropolises connected by intricate canal systems and aerial pathways, embodying harmony between human habitation and nature. The Nile here was not just a river, but a central nervous system for a civilization that spanned thousands of kilometers. These empires developed advanced forms of governance, characterized by complex federal structures and robust legal systems that emphasized equity, communal well-being, and environmental stewardship, deeply woven into the fabric of their societies. Their sophisticated urban planning led to cities boasting populations far exceeding any in contemporary Europe, with infrastructure that was both beautiful and incredibly efficient, designed for longevity and adaptability. These metropolises were marvels of engineering and biointegration, where human settlements coexisted in perfect harmony with the natural world, often designed as tiered ecosystems mirroring the surrounding forests and plains, creating a symbiotic relationship between urban and natural environments. Africa became the primary engine of the global economy, culture, and knowledge. Its vast resources, from rich mineral deposits, easily accessible thanks to the lush, navigable terrain, to unparalleled agricultural yields, coupled with advanced agricultural and engineering techniques, made it an economic powerhouse that set the global standard. The continent's philosophies, sciences, and artistic expressions radiated outwards, shaping global thought and influencing societies across Eurasia and the Americas. Concepts of communal living, restorative justice, ecological stewardship, and the interconnectedness of all life, deeply ingrained in African cultures for millennia, became foundational principles adopted and adapted across the globe. African ethical frameworks, emphasizing collective responsibility and long-term sustainability, became the benchmark for global governance. In this timeline, European powers, lacking the impetus for colonial expansion into a dark continent, as Africa was already highly developed and powerful, its vast cities and advanced technologies well known and respected, became more peripheral players on the global stage. Their age of exploration, if it happened at all, was radically different. It was less about European conquest and more about global discovery and collaborative exchange. European scholars and traders flocked to African centers of learning and commerce, eager to establish trade partnerships and engage in intellectual exchange with the dominant African empires, seeking to learn from their millennia of sustainable development and advanced societal organization. The flow of knowledge was primarily from Africa outwards, a reversal of historical patterns in other timelines, establishing a global intellectual hierarchy with Africa at its apex. The Sahara's vast river systems, some rivaling the Amazon in scale, became superhighways of commerce. Automated river barges and hydro drones, powered by clean hydro energy harnessed directly from the rivers themselves, ferried goods, people, and ideas seamlessly from the Atlantic coast, through the Central Plains, to the Nile and the Red Sea. These vast, navigable waterways were not just arteries of civilization. They were pulsating networks of life and trade, facilitating a continuous flow of resources and intellectual capital. This ease of movement facilitated constant communication and cultural diffusion, fostering an unparalleled sense of continental unity and shared prosperity. Ideas flowed as freely as the water, accelerating innovation and cross-pollination of cultures, leading to a dynamic and ever-evolving Pan-African identity, celebrated for its diversity and resilience. African civilizations pioneered unique technological trajectories that prioritized sustainability and harmony with nature. Hydroengineering was a cornerstone of their advancements, designing intricate networks of canals, dams, vast water purification systems, and even atmospheric moisture harvesters that managed the colossal river flows with breathtaking precision, preventing floods and droughts. This mastery over water, the very lifeblood of their verdant world, allowed for continuous agricultural cycles and supported dense urban populations without straining natural resources. Grand aqueducts snaked across the landscape, not just for transport, but as living art, integrated with local ecosystems. Bioengineering was another core strength used for optimizing crops to thrive in diverse microclimates, enhancing their nutritional value and resilience, and for designing urban ecosystems that were self-sustaining, recycling all waste, and integrating living organisms into building materials. Buildings literally breathed, their facades covered in photosynthesizing organisms that purified the air and generated energy. Bioluminescent flora provided ambient light, reducing the need for artificial illumination and creating cities that glowed softly from within. Urban waste was transformed into nutrient-rich compost by specialized microorganisms, feeding the very plants that housed and sustained the populace. Climate control technologies, leveraging the abundant solar and hydro resources, allowed for localized atmospheric adjustments, ensuring comfort and optimal growing conditions within and around cities, effectively creating microclimates tailored to specific needs. These were not energy-intensive systems, but elegant applications of natural principles, utilizing wind patterns, thermal mass, and vegetative cover to regulate temperature and humidity. Some structures even had adaptive skins that could change their light absorption and heat dissipation properties based on external conditions. Their medicine, derived from millennia of diverse botanical knowledge, meticulously cultivated through a deep understanding of the continent's unparalleled biodiversity, was globally advanced, often integrating cutting-edge biomolecular technologies with traditional holistic approaches, leading to cures and preventative measures unheard of elsewhere. Gene therapies, tailored to individual biomes, and regenerative medicine derived from native Saharan flora were common practice, ensuring a consistently high quality of life for all citizens. Diseases that plagued other continents were often mere historical footnotes in Africa or easily curable conditions. Complex algorithms for resource distribution, urban management, and social equity were developed centuries before other continents, leading to remarkably efficient, just, and self-sufficient societies. These algorithms predicted resource needs, optimized distribution networks, and ensured equitable access to vital goods and services for every citizen, effectively eradicating poverty and scarcity. Data analytics, powered by quantum computing, allowed for real-time optimization of urban systems, from traffic flow to public health initiatives, anticipating problems before they arose. Social harmony was maintained through adaptive governance models that incorporated direct citizen participation and predictive analytics to resolve potential disputes. Without the geographical barrier of the desert, African philosophies, artistic styles, and scientific advancements spread rapidly across the Mediterranean and beyond. African mathematics, particularly in areas like fractal geometry, algorithmic design, and probabilistic modeling, profoundly influenced European thought, laying the groundwork for complex computational sciences. African astronomy, built on generations of meticulous observation and integrated with advanced computational models, led to groundbreaking discoveries about the cosmos, including detailed star mapping, theories of dark matter, and early concepts of multiverses. Architectural principles, emphasizing organic forms, sustainable materials, and biophilic design, transformed urban landscapes globally, inspiring a new wave of eco-conscious construction. The great libraries of Timbuktu Nova and Gene Jano were global centers of learning, drawing scholars from every corner of the earth, fostering an academic renaissance that continually pushed the boundaries of human knowledge and cultural expression. Vibrant, syncretic cultures emerged from constant contact with Asian and Middle Eastern traders, leading to a rich tapestry of shared traditions, artistic expressions, and culinary innovations. Religious development was diverse and dynamic, with no single monolithic faith dominating the continent, allowing for a rich tapestry of spiritual expression and peaceful coexistence, underpinned by a deep-seated respect for individual and collective freedoms. In 2025, the African Unity Conglomerate, AUC, stands as the preeminent global leader in sustainable development, climate resilience, and equitable governance. It is not merely a political alliance, but a deeply integrated network of nations, city-states, and diverse cultures, united by shared prosperity, common values, and a cohesive vision for humanity's future. Its cities are not just technological marvels, but living ecosystems, harmoniously integrated with their surroundings, powered entirely by renewable energy, and sustained by closed-loop resource management systems that produce zero waste. Urban agriculture is ubiquitous, embedded within every structure, providing fresh, local food year-round, minimizing transportation costs and maximizing freshness. Its infrastructure systems are marvels of ecological engineering, demonstrating how human ingenuity can work with nature, not against it, to create resilient and thriving societies. From sprawling hydro networks that distribute purified water across vast distances to aeroponic towers that feed entire districts, every element of infrastructure is designed with symbiotic relationships in mind, ensuring minimal environmental impact and maximum societal benefit. And its cultural influence is woven into the very fabric of global society, evident in architectural styles, philosophical discourse, artistic trends, and even culinary traditions across the world. The concept of underdevelopment in Africa is alien, a historical anomaly that simply never occurred in this timeline. Instead, African nations lead the charge in addressing global challenges, sharing their millennia of experience in sustainable living, complex societal management, and conflict resolution, often acting as impartial mediators in international disputes. Global forums on climate change, resource management, ethical artificial intelligence, and interstellar exploration are routinely held in African capitals, with African experts shaping the global discourse and providing leadership in humanity's most pressing endeavors. The very image of what civilization means has been defined by the enduring success of the Saharan heartlands, a testament to foresight, collaboration, and a profound respect for the earth. This global leadership isn't asserted through military might, but through the undeniable power of example, demonstrating a thriving, equitable society that has learned to live in balance with its world, a beacon of hope and progress for all of humanity. Chief Geo-Arborist Aliyah Benali, her adaptive cloak shimmering with biosensitive patterns that shifted subtly with her mood and the ambient light, gazed out from her eyrie in the central root tower of Gene Jano, the great central oasis of Mali. The root tower itself was a living entity, its spiraling structure formed from genetically modified, self-growing bioconcrete, its interior permeated by nutrient-rich vascular systems that fed its integrated gardens and atmospheric purifiers, circulating fresh air and purified water throughout the colossal structure. Below, miles of intricately bioengineered forests, pulsing with integrated water channels and nutrient lines, supported a population of millions, their homes nestled within the canopy, accessed by intricate web-like pathways that glowed softly at night. The verdant Sahara, as it was known globally, had always been the unwavering source of life for Africa, a testament to the persistent atmospheric river that had blessed this land with unending rainfall for millennia. Her people, direct descendants of the ancient empires of Ghana and Mali, had continuously nurtured this land, pioneering hydroengineering and advanced botany centuries before other continents knew systematic agriculture. Their connection to the land was not merely professional, it was ancestral, a sacred trust passed down through generations, a legacy etched into their very DNA, manifest in the very fabric of Geni Geno and every city across the continent. "The new fungal blight has spread to Sector Gamma, Chief," reported her AI assistant, a calming, synthesized voice that resonated with the soft hum of the tower itself. Its holographic avatar, a shimmering, ethereal presence, materialized beside her. Its form, a delicate lattice of light. Origin traced to a rare spore variant from the northern Atlasian coast forests. Our ancient river grain crops are showing accelerated deterioration. Its replication rate suggests exponential growth if unchecked, projecting full localized blight within 72 standard hours. Initial biosignatures indicate a novel protein structure, highly resistant to our standard antifungal agents. Environmental scans suggest airborne dispersal, aided by unusual updraft currents originating from the southern Atlasian range, exacerbated by the recent solar flare activity. Aaliyah felt a sharp pang of anxiety pierce her heart like a rusted knife. This new strain of fungus threatened not just a harvest, but the very memory of millennia. This wasn't merely a professional setback, it was a profound personal affront to the dedication her ancestors had poured into this land, to the continuous vigilance that had preserved this verdant paradise. The river grain was more than just a food source. It was a symbol of their continuous stewardship, a direct link to the ancient agricultural practices that had laid the foundation of their prosperity, a living artifact of their long history. This particular strain was vital to the Niger Delta metropolises, a crucial component of their dietary staples, providing unique enzymes and nutrients found in no other cultivated plant, essential for their specific biome-adapted health. It was also a key component of the trade agreements with the Lake Chad city-states and the eastern forest communities, underpinning the delicate economic balance of the entire region. The implications rippled far beyond a single crop failure, threatening to destabilize an interconnected supply chain that fed hundreds of millions, potentially causing widespread nutritional deficiencies and economic disruptions that could cascade across the entire AUC. Her long career, marked by innovative solutions and a profound dedication to ecological balance, had prepared her for such moments. She had faced droughts that threatened crops, localized pest infestations, and even minor climatic anomalies. But the scale and virulence of this new threat felt different. It was the swiftness of its spread, the almost alien nature of this new variant, combined with its seemingly natural resistance that truly unsettled her. "Show me the genetic markers," she commanded, her voice steady despite the tremor she felt internally. The holographic interface before her shimmered, displaying complex genetic sequences, twisting and unfolding like luminous vines, highlighting aberrant proteins and unfamiliar nucleic acid patterns. The sheer complexity of the fungal genome suggested a sophisticated evolutionary leap, or perhaps an entirely new, undiscovered lineage, one that bypassed known biological defenses. She quickly pulled up ancient phytological maps, tracing the historical migratory patterns of blights across the seamlessly connected continent, cross-referencing against the current outbreak's unique dispersal patterns. Her mind raced, sifting through terabytes of data, databases of known counteragents, ancient botanical remedies preserved in deep storage seed banks, and cutting-edge biomolecular compounds being developed in the Guild's research labs, often combining indigenous knowledge with advanced synthetic biology and quantum-level molecular manipulation. Cross-reference with known fungal resistance genes from the pre-Holocene era, particularly those found in the eastern Saharan highlands and the subterranean root systems of the great redwood ferns, she instructed the AI, her fingers flying across the holographic console, manipulating complex data streams with a practiced ease born of decades of experience. And initiate a rapid response drone deployment to Sector Gamma. Deploy atmospheric bioscanners, maximum density. I want a real-time epidemiological map of spore dispersion, focusing on microclimatic vectors and potential new infection points. Prioritize data on the fungal metabolism. I need to know how it's consuming the river grain, what its vulnerabilities are, and whether it exhibits any adaptive characteristics that could make it resistant to conventional treatments. Engage predictive modeling for potential future mutations and develop contingency plans for crop substitutions in affected zones. Access the deep archives for any records of similar historical blights, no matter how minor, from the early agricultural eras. We need to understand its evolutionary history, if any. She then connected to a secure guild channel, the faces of her most trusted colleagues materializing around her in the holographic chamber. Alara, the lead biochemist from the Nile Kingdoms, her face etched with concentration. Kojo, the seasoned hydro-engineer from the Tibesti Hydro League, his brow furrowed in thought. And Dr. Anya Sharma, the renowned geneticist from the Central Research Hub in Timbuktu, Nova, her eyes sharp with analytical intensity. This is Alia Benali. Initiate emergency protocol Delta 7. All senior geo-arborists to convene in the Root Tower's primary analysis chamber within the hour. Prepare for a continent-wide biocontainment effort. We have a new aggressive fungal blight in Sector Gamma, exhibiting novel genetic markers and rapid proliferation, with significant environmental assistance in its spread. We need all available resources mobilized: bio-quarantine teams, genetic sequencing units, and the full capacity of our atmospheric filtration systems. Prioritize the development of a targeted bioagent, leveraging our most advanced synthetic biology capabilities. This isn't just about preserving crops, it's about safeguarding a civilization. Every moment counts. I've initiated preliminary scans and archive searches, but we'll need a unified rapid response. Her voice, while firm and authoritative, carried the undeniable weight of a leader facing an unprecedented challenge. A threat that echoed with the ancient vulnerabilities that even the most advanced societies could not entirely escape. The battle for the verdant Sahara had just begun, but Alia Benali, the guardian of green, stood ready, her gaze fixed on the shimmering horizon. With the unwavering conviction of her ancestors pulsing in her veins, and the profound belief that life would find a way, as it always had in this blessed heart of Africa, she was utterly determined to protect her heritage.